Hey everybody, how's it going? Today, it's my pleasure to bring you a detailed, in-depth look at the 2014 Chevrolet SS. And this is going to be a detailed, in-depth view of the SS. We'll start it up, show the engine, get an exhaust clip, and go over the performance data, as well as show you a bunch of the unique aspects to the interior, as well as exterior. And before we begin, I'd like to take this opportunity to extend a special shout out and big thanks out to Reed Lollier Chevrolet, located in Fayetteville, North Carolina, for allowing me to come out and film the all-new 2014 Chevrolet Super Sport. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and start her up, let her run. As you can see, the SS does come standard with a remote start. Now the SS does come standard with an integrated smart key access system. All you have to do is just keep the key fob in your pocket, and if you look on the door handles, there's little chrome accented buttons on all four of them. To lock, just press it once, then after waiting a second, tap the button again, and then once more to unlock the rest of the doors. The exterior color is No's Phantom Black Metallic, featuring a full jet black leather interior with Alcantara accenting across the doors, the seats, and the dash. Now, along with that smart key access system, the SS also features remote push button ignition. To start, all you have to do is just put your foot on the brake and hit the dash mounted button to go. Beautiful sound. The SS features speed proportional, electric assist rack and pinion power steering, and this very unique 3-spoke fully leather-wrapped steering wheel. Perforated leather coming across the sides here with heavy grips up top, and a thick, flat-bottom race-inspired feel. Polished trim, highlighting the airbag cover, and your multifunction controls side to side. As far as the gearbox, the standard option is GM's Hydra-matic electronically controlled 6-speed automatic gearbox, with manual shiftability by clicking it over to the right, pushing up to go up a gear, and pulling back to go down a gear, or manual mode via the paddle shifters mounted behind the steering wheel. Once you put the vehicle in reverse, your backup camera automatically appears in your LCD display. There's front and rear parking sensors, as well as an automated self-parallel parking feature. All beautifully accented in polished aluminum, leather, and a chrome accented shift housing. And so we can flip on the automatic projector headlamps, fog lamps, as well as the hazards. Both the front windows are fully automatic, while both the rear windows are just automatic down. And we'll go and check out the exterior, shall we? The vehicle lost the chime a few times, letting you notice loss detection of the proximity key fob. Chevrolet has always been known in their past for their brawny V8 rear-wheel drive performance sedans. Since the 1950s, GM's small-block V8 architecture has been a stablemate of affordable performance and practicality for over 50 years. The last performance-themed Chevy to feature the classic V8 rear-wheel drive formula was the 94 through 96 Impala SS, a large, full-size sedan that utilized the same body-on-frame design that dated back to 1977. Essentially with the 9C1 Caprice Police package and a lowered suspension with its monochromatic paint finish, unique wheels, and specially trimmed interior. Its performance-enhancing goodies range from larger brakes, dual exhaust, transmission cooler, sport-tuned suspension with lower, reinforced shocks and springs, higher capacity reverse flow cooling system from the Corvette, and a higher output electrical system. Even with all those enhancements though, it was still a big car with a live axle out back and was never meant to be an agile corner carver. Especially in black, the car looked menacing, but as cool as the Impala was, it was short-lived, for just a few years later, the B-body sedans, including the Caprice and other corporate cousins, met their untimely demise after 1996 for the booming, higher-profit SUV market. Fast forward 17 years, and we find ourselves once again seeing Chevrolet enter this niche market that was once thought to be over with an Australian-built four-door muscle car simply known as the SS. Chrysler Group has dominated this segment for a number of years now with the 300C and Charger RT. Since Ford dropped its Panther platform cars like the Crown Victoria in 2011, there hasn't been much competition for this segment in the past few years. Pontiac fans will definitely remember the G8 and G8 GXP that was produced from 2008 to 2009 before Pontiac met its end during the automotive market crisis. That car, based on the Australian-built Holden VE Commodore, was a fantastic performer that can be had with either V6 or V8 options and even a manual transmission. Since then, there has been an unquenchable thirst for the G8's successor, which now comes in the form of the 2014 SS. The new SS is also Holden-based, which explains the similarities to the G8. It's not a reiteration of the old car, but an all-new car based on the recently released VF series Commodore SSV. It boasts improvements in refinement, weight distribution, performance, and luxury over the last generation and paves the way for an exciting future. From the side it looks quite familiar, but with all new front and rear clips, in addition to swelling front fenders and muscular rear flanks with the Power Dome hood. It rides on GM's Zeta unibody platform that's also shared with the Camaro and the longer Chevrolet Caprice Police Patrol vehicle, the rear-drive V8 police cruiser brought over for 2012. In comparison, the SS's wheelbase is 114.8 inches, which is 2.5 inches longer than the Camaro and 3.7 inches shorter than the Caprice. While the G8 has an identical wheelbase, dimensions are ever so slightly different. Compared to the SS, the G8 is 0.6 inches longer, 0.1 inches wider, and 0.2 inches lower. Weight balance is also important with the new SS and Commodore to achieve a weight distribution of 52.6% in front and 47.4% in the rear thanks to an aluminum hood and trunk lid, which weigh about 30% less than traditional steel. It also helps keep the center of gravity low for better handling profiles. Modern lighting up front is provided by projector high-intensity discharge headlamps with standard fog lamps down below and LED daytime running lamps. The SS also features standard dual exhaust with a rear diffuser-style lower clip, wraparound curvaceous tail lamps that mimic the front. Essentially the same as the Commodore with plenty of exterior bright work, fender vents with LED turn signals, and an aggressive blacked-out lower front clip traced in chrome. Overall length is 195.5 inches with a width of 74.7 inches and a height of 57.9 inches. Total curb weight is right around 3,975 pounds. The standard wheels for the SS include 19 by 8.5 inch forged polished aluminum alloys in front, while 19 by 9 inches bring up the rear for better traction. They're wrapped in high-performance Bridgestone tires measuring 245/40 up front and 275/35 in the rear. Brakes are large two-piece ventilated discs measuring 14 inches in front with 4-piston Brembo calipers and 12.8 inches in the rear with single-piston sliding calipers. As far as the suspension, it's fully independent with McPherson struts in front and a multi-link rear. The vehicle also comes standard with lane departure warning and cross-traffic alert all the way around, not to mention coolers for the engine and transmission and an addition of a limited slip differential. So let's go and pop the hood. The Super Sports standard power plant is GM's LS3 all-aluminum 6.2-liter pushrod 16-valve V8 with port fuel injection. The LS3 doesn't feature some of the new economy features like the new Corvette's LT1s, such as direct injection, cylinder deactivation, and variable valve timing, but it still holds its own with very respectable performance numbers. It produces 415 horsepower at 5,900 RPM and 415 pound-feet of torque at 4,600 RPM. Putting the power to the pavement through a 6-speed automatic and a 3.27 final drive ratio, the SS can achieve a 0 to 60 time of around 4.5 seconds with a top speed electronically limited to 161 miles per hour. Quarter-mile times are around 12.9 seconds at 111 miles per hour. As far as fuel economy, on recommended premium fuel in a 19-gallon tank, expect a range of around 14 city and 21 miles to a gallon on the highway. As far as the interior, it's pretty much identical to what you would find in the Holden counterpart. The direction was to go for more refinement, luxury, and technology. Build quality is overall good, with plenty of soft touch points and microfiber suede covering many of the interior panels with color accent stitching. The microfiber suede swoops up into the dash across the door with the accent stitching coming across the middle as well as the padded armrest. Black veneer also highlights the middle portion of the door with subtle touches of chrome and also surrounds all of your power functions. 3-person memory, all of your power windows, power locks, and power mirrors are located on the door, trunk release down below, and a little bit of storage. The seats in the SS definitely evoke a more performance-oriented theme. They're nicely bolstered with heavy amounts of lateral grip and also feature a combination of the leather as well as the microfiber suede and red color accent stitching. The seats in the middle are perforated, all of the power adjustments are located down below with your 4-way power lumbar. The seats do a nice job of hugging you in all of the right places and feature a nice attention to detail, especially with the combination of perforations and the microfiber suede. As you come up the seat, integrated side airbags, adjustable headrests with the SS logo stitched into the back of the front seats, as well as these polished aluminum accents that give the appearance of more racing buckets. As you come down across the threshold, there's aluminum entry guards, an all-weather floor mat, as well as all-weather protection off to the right, lightweight aluminum pedals, and a manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. The dash is also nicely accented in padded material. There's extra safety for the driver with an integrated driver knee airbag, and you'll see as you come across the integration of the perforated trim as well as the microfiber suede going across the dash the full length of the vehicle. Finished off with an optional sunroof.
So let's go and see if she sounds.
So we're going to shut her up. Now the SS features Chevrolet's MyLink system, a mobile media navigation telemetrics interface with an 8-inch LCD touchscreen display. So for a more detailed look at the MyLink system, let's cut away real quick to a 2014 Chevrolet Camaro with the identical system to show you a little bit more of how the functions work. What's cool about the MyLink system, it's pretty unique in the fact that it uses a lot of smartphone integration. So many of the features and functions that you would typically see, they're all organized in an app-style fashion. Kind of similar to the Cadillac Q system, although this is almost an entirely different system altogether. You load up your apps, you can also sync internet radio like Pandora and Stitcher. There's a whole lot of functionality to it, and it's pretty neat once you get used to it. Also standard is a premium 9-speaker Bose Centerpoint surround sound system. airbags. Auto-dimming movie mirror with the integrated OnStar. And in the top stack, you have your microphones for your hands-free Bluetooth telephone, interior illumination controls, as well as your reading lamps, and controls for your automatic sunroof. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this is the main home screen for the MyLink system. You have all of your different apps for the radio, multimedia, as well as navigation if the vehicle is equipped with such. Across the sides, you have touch-sensitive buttons for the radio, as well as some of the system settings and changing the source. Back button up top, and your favorite stations. If you hit that, you can always pull it up at the bottom of the screen. AM/FM located up top, with your station, song data if it's available. Your XM satellite radio with Grace Note. It's pretty neat too. The system will actually, depending on the specific genre of the radio station you're listening to, will normally put like a little background image to kind of complement. Always display the song information. If you hit menu, you can tag it for iTunes. Tune Select will allow you to save a specific artist or song to always alert you when it comes on the air, as well as adjusting some of the other XM settings. Always adjust the radio source off to the right, between all the different options, including your internet radio, Bluetooth audio, and more. Now, like I said, you could get navigation with the system, but this particular one's not equipped with it. Your hands-free Bluetooth telephone that automatically asks you to pair it, and you can store your numbers, change it between the different radio modes, including your internet media, USB, auxiliary, Bluetooth streaming, your audio adjustments and preset equalizers, configuration, all of the system settings, customizable options, and down below, part of your XM satellite radio subscription, you have real-time fuel prices, look up movie times, and weather updates, future forecasts, and location-based forecasts. Quick info or just some shortcut keys for the most popular options you'll probably use for the system. You can also load up pictures of the hard drive-based system. Your time and outside temperature are located up top, and if you hit this menu button right down below there, you can customize depending on which icons that you want to show on your main screen and sorting them. And your shortcut keys on either side, your telephone, seek, changing the radio source, back, tone, the configuration for the different settings like I mentioned earlier, as well as play and pause. Since the system's a hard drive based system, you can actually pause live radio and double back to re-listen to something that you've already listened to already. It's a pretty neat system. Then you can pause it and then go back to live radio whenever you're done. And if you didn't want to touch while you're going down the road, you can also use this little wheel right here. It's also the tune button, and it goes between the different options. When you're ready, just hit select. If we hit source and go back to XM, if you use this button over here, it's also the tune button that'll go through the various stations. And definitely one of my favorite things about the SS's interior is the integration of the Alcantara and Napata material across the dash. You have the red color accent stitching, highlighted by the polished trim, as well as high gloss black veneer, extending the length of the vehicle. As we continue down the center console, you have a standard dual zone electronic automatic climate control with your temperature adjustments on either side. It also automatically shows up in the MyLink system. Fan speed, different zones, front and rear defrost, and air conditioning activation. Your one-touch automatic is located on the driver's side. Down below that, the polished trim flows into the center console with a little storage tray up front, as well as a 12-volt power outlet. Small storage right in front of the two cup holders. Your traction control, parallel parking activation, as well as your parking sensors. This is the automated parking feature that I touched on earlier. Over to the far left is an electronic parking brake. Pull up to activate, and put your foot on the brake, and push the switch down to deactivate. Continue back a little further, and you have a full padded armrest with color accent stitching as well. With modest storage, there's a little slot that you can put your key in right there to charge up the battery, a 12-volt power outlet off to the right, as well as your USB and auxiliary input for your iPod or other MP3 device. As far as the steering wheel, to your left is your cruise control, as well as activation of your lane departure warning assist and pre-collision detection system. Off to the right is your radio controls, as well as your hands-free telephone controls. You can mute the audio system and activate your voice commands.
Please say a command.
Help.
What do you need help with? Please say radio, phone, my media, navigation, or settings. For OnStar speech commands, say OnStar. For help with other commands, say other commands. If you need to exit the session, say goodbye.
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 It's got a pretty pleasant voice. It'll list out the commands for you. You can also study up on it in your owner's manual to become more familiar with it. Your white brick stalk off to the right, and your turn signal, high beam, and driver information stalk is located to the left. So your driver information system is actually located in between the speedometer cluster and that little digital display. It's got a few different menus you can go through, from vehicle information, trip fuel information. So first, with our trip and fuel information, there's a digitalized speedometer you can bring up, navigation data, vehicle speed, fuel economy, and your trip. As far as the vehicle information, your units, speed warning, some vehicle diagnostics, tire pressure monitoring system. So it's a pretty simple system overall. And to the left-hand side of your steering column is the controls for your heads-up display that's beamed up onto the windshield. It houses a variety of data. This particular one showing your gear, your speed, as well as your tachometer, lateral G, if you're on a track, and outside temperature. So it's pretty customizable overall. Alrighty. Go ahead and shut her down. And we'll check out the back seat. Rear seat occupants for the SS will be pleased to know there's a plentiful amount of space in the back and it's quite comfortable. A good amount of padded trim like you find in the front, including the Alcantara coming across the doors, also with the matching red accent stitching, storage down below, and some high gloss black veneer. As far as the seats, they're deeply bolstered, also with the Alcantara patches and red accent stitching. Now the SS doesn't really have a 60-40 traditional split rear seat, but what it does have is a large midsection right here. If you press this little button, it'll fold it down and reveal a pass-through to your trunk. There's also a little tray that comes down if you need a hard surface, whether to write or to eat on in the back seat for backseat passengers. And there's also 2 cup holders, so you get a little bit more utility out of it. Like I said, the SS does have a nice amount of rear interior space and amenities for backseat passengers. Taller individuals won't have an issue at all sitting back here. I'm about 5'11", and with a comfortable seating position for myself up front, I probably have a good 5, maybe 6 inches of leg space. Head space, probably 2.5 inches. Now the way this roof is designed, it's actually got some crevices and bulges out across the middle right here, but right where it counts the most, where your head goes, there's a nice cutout across the middle here, which helps give you a little bit more wiggle room. There's an armrest right in the middle here, also nice and soft. So the SS definitely lives up to its big car standards. There's plenty of rear space to kind of move around, be flexible. It doesn't feel claustrophobic at all. You can stick your feet up under the seats right here. There's a little storage pocket and your air vents for easy access. But other than that, just rest your head on the soft headrest and just enjoy the long ride. Again, just for a little bit of a first-person perspective, a little bit of storage, your vents. Rear reading lamps up top, side curtain airbags. And coat hooks along with the grip handles. There's also a set of cup holders in between the seat. Just push in and they automatically pop out. Alrighty. So let's go and check out the rest of the vehicle, shall we? Open up the easy access trunk and you'll find a respectable 16.4 cubic feet of cargo space. There's also a cargo net and side pockets with your spare tire located beneath the floor. As mentioned earlier, if you need more space, just fold down the middle partition between the rear seats. The passenger seat also features the same power adjustments, including the power lumbar that you find on the driver's seat. Soft perforated trim coming across the top of the Alcantara portion, also with the red color accent stitching, and the SS logo stitched into the Alcantara. Also a modest glove box, with a reasonable amount of storage, as well as illumination. The Chevrolet SS represents the rebirth of a classic formula and new performance direction for Chevrolet. After a 17-year hiatus from the V8 rear-wheel drive sedan party, they finally have something different and fun to bring to the table. When you consider the variety and performance and models available in Australia, like the UTE, the future of the SS line should be quite exciting as it unfolds. Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed the in-depth look at the 2014 Chevrolet SS. Be sure to stay tuned next time, there's a lot more where that came from. Take care everybody.